And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something very special, something different. Welcome back to the Bingus World number 26. Welcome to a 4-player StarCraft Evolution Invitational. I'm, of course, Showside VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to our third broadcast of the day. Oh my god, our third of 4, as we have another one after this. Let's go. Let us go as we are jumping right on in. For those that are curious, welcome to, again, the Bingus World. What world are we in? In Bingus's world. What does that mean? No idea. But this is a show match invitational series here, and we have 4 players. We have RebellioN, we have QuanTa, we have Honmono, and we have 3Point as well. And we, of course, featuring the StarCraft Evolution, not just the mod, the PTR. This is a PTR tournament. Changes have been announced. We went over the PTR changes during the podcast, and now we're here displaying them live to you here and now. Let's go. Spawning in the top right hand corner, on the bottom right hand corner of Monty Hall, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing himself, currently teamless. It is RebellioN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran. It is QuanTa. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gambit time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, by the way. Best of 5, not a best of 3, not a best of fun, a full best of 5 series. And again, this is a 4-player bracket. There's also a 3rd place match as well. We'll be going over the bracket in overall once we wrap up this series. For now, though, we're jumping on in to a pseudo island map. Oh my god, one of my favorite maps here in StarCraft Evolution. Welcome to Monty Hall, basically pseudo island map. We are fully walled in. We're walled in here by these mineral patches. Already we have mined through the center and mined through the left-hand patches overall. Workers, they have gained access. They are fighting amongst themselves, and we do see that RebellioN is looking to expand here towards the center location. Does take the center expansion. Meanwhile, we do see QuanTa opening up with a Rax into CC, looking to expand towards the south side instead. Okay, here we go. Just setting up our aliases. Hold on. Un momento. Beautiful. Okay, here we go. As we are setting. Oh my god! QuanTa Proxy Factory actually walling RebellioN in. This I've not seen before. Yeah, my attention. Again, QuanTa is one of the stronger Terran players in all of StarCraft Evolution. Going for that Proxy Factory is walling his opponent in, and RebellioN has no idea. He goes, oh, now he knows. Now he knows. Proxy Vulture in the main. He's crazy. He's lost his mind. We're here for it. We are here for it. Vulture production has begun. Behind this, RebellioN is going to be opening up Twilight Council into Blink, but only the one gateway. Stalker's being cornered as we speak, trying to deal with what the hell's going on. And we'll see if he's able to handle this. Bearing in mind, there is no spider mines. Spider mines have not been researched, but vultures, they kill workers real fast and real quick. Oh. Now vulture taking a lot of hits. Takes out 1 probe, does 2 shots. Gets 1, gets 2. Vulture goes down. This wasn't quite worth it here for QuanTa. Bear that in mind. Second vulture's on the way, but what the hell with this Stalker? The vultures, they should be shut down. There we go. Second and third Jesus, mass factory, mass mech here from QuanTa. Dies for the mineral line, shield battery is done, and yeah, and QuanTa is being shut down here. I appreciate the build overall, going for the Proxy Vulture. It was very cheeky, and if there was an Adept opener, if there was no initial unit, then maybe could have done some damage, but last is going to be shut down, will float away. The factory should survive, but the Proxy is dealt with. Proxy is going to be dealt with here. Likewise, there's that second gateway, third gateway in production. Meanwhile, we just see we have an eBay here on the left-hand side. He didn't notice. No, no. I understand. I understand what's happening. Okay. So, just really rough here for QuanTa. Basically, what happened was QuanTa, he eBay blocked on the left-hand side, and the purpose of the factory was to wall in his opponents and deny the expansion. But he didn't know that the Nexus was already on the way. That there was already a worker on the other side. So I really do like the build now. It makes more sense. The goal was to wall in his opponent, but he doesn't know that there's already expansion. He was 1 second too late. He was just too late here with that Proxy. And in the end, it just wasn't worth it. Not like this. Not like this. Meanwhile, Vulture production has begun once again in the mineral line. The base is just so big. RebellioN unaware. There we go. Vulture's on the way. Spider-Man's being researched. We're backing them up. Let's go. Backing up those vultures. Back at home, more vultures are amassing. Tanks as well. And ideally, we want to wait for Spider-Man to finish researching. Meanwhile, Blink is done, and RebellioN going for the proxy. Looking to Blink over the wall. We're going to dive over that wall. Now, QuanTa realizes there's already that natural base. And that's a lot of Stalkers. That's 8 Stalkers already. They hop over the wall. SV is going to be going down. Mining's going to be denied. And QuanTa has to fall back to his tanks. No Spider-Mines yet. He goes in. Does dive in. He can one-shot workers. He can and will one-shot those probes. It's going to be 5 probes going down already. Rotating over towards left-hand side. Ooh, he's walled in. It's going to be walled in. Spider-Mine is borrowed. Ooh, takes down one of the Stalkers almost. Yeah, it takes 2 shots. Yeah, it does take 2. Can we deal splash damage? Oh. Yeah, Spider-Mines are set. Pro's gonna be targeted down, and you can see the whole position mic here from RebellioN. He does not want to touch, don't want to get anywhere near those spider mines. He's zoned away. Yeah, he's zoned away at this point. Likewise, still diving in. Ooh, massive connection! Oh my god, the spider mine. Boys are being pulled. Yeah, boys are being pulled. We dive into the main. RebellioN going for the SCVs. SCVs are going down, and with all these spider mines, alas, QuanTa should hold. He should be able to defend this. We're seeing a lot of workers though. Jesus, that's going to be 15 SCVs. We fought a little bit too long. Meanwhile, more workers going to be going down and massive tank shots. The range on spider mines is quite short. Alas, there's that recall. Spider mine denying any kind of mining. When the tank, yeah, the Stalkers go down, GG gets called, and just like that, QuanTa takes a lead in the series. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. For those that are curious, spider mines, they do not target on workers. That's why RebellioN was on hold position micro. That's why QuanTa was trying to lure that Stalker into that spider mine range. As spider mines, again, they only target on attacking units. They do not target on workers. And we saw a massive detonation there in that main base. Massive connection here. Likewise at home, did defend as well with the help of spider mines, with the help of tanks. GG. GG, well played. QuanTa takes a lead. And now we are jumping into game number 2. We're jumping into game 2. And we'll see where this takes us. As game 2 is going to be on Whispers of Gold. So just catching up with the chat. Yo, shout to Kashim. Shema, papi, shema. Good to see you. Este Kashim. Always good to see you. I see Psycons in the chat. I see Soundo as well. Cyberjohn, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Sorry, just setting some stuff up. Whew. And game 2 again is going to be on Whispers of Gold. It's going to be an SC2 map, and it is going to be, I believe, loser's pick. So it's up to RebellioN. Is he going to commit to SC2, or is he going to switch to Brood War Protoss instead? What's it going to be? Here we go. Go. So we are setting up. Sorry, we have to remake. As a reminder, again, we're playing on the PTR. When it comes to the PTR, there were a lot of changes in regards to, I mean, the BC got adjusted. Actually, hold on. You know what? Let me just raise those patch notes. I got you. Bam, beautiful. Okay, so the PTR patch notes. There were a lot of changes to Terran as well. I mean, the eBay build time was adjusted. True. Oh right, the 2-1-1 was adjusted as well. Oh, sorry, the 3-ax, I should say. The 3-ax was adjusted. Basically, they increased Stim research build time. They increased Rax build time as well. Increased eBay build time. They decreased medic HP. Like, there were a lot of changes that were made to Terran specifically. Less so to Protoss. So it was like one change to Protoss. Yeah, the carrier change. But mainly a lot of changes to Terran when it comes to the strength of the Goliath in mech. When it comes to mech, the strength of the Unsieged tank, the BC, as well as the Bio Army as well. So there were a lot of changes made. There wasn't really a lot applicable to the game that we just casted. So there wasn't really much to get into there, outside of, I guess, the eBay build time. But now we're getting into game number 2. Jumping into game 2. It's going to be on Whispers of Gold. God, they switch places. God damn it. As spawning in the top left-hand corner here of Whispers of Gold, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the now brutal Protoss. It is RebellioN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the SE2 Terran player, the Red Terran. It is QuanTa. Here we go. Again, here we are back. And again, when it comes to the PTR changes, there wasn't really anything too applicable here to Brutal Protoss, so we're just going to be able to jump on in. Meanwhile, I see 2 pros moving out. Hyper aggression so far of our players. I mean, we had QuanTa going for a crazy proxy earlier, and now we see RebellioN doing something similar, going for his own proxy gateways. Let's go. Gas being taken back at home. Initial gateways on the way. And we'll see how this proxy does come together as we're setting up here and committing. Here comes that second gate. Second gateway's on the way. So far, we're going to be trying to disrupt the initial opener. And QuanTa is going for an economic build here. Single gas. Single gas means racks into expansion. Economic start from our Korean Terran. Our Korean Terran player. And Zealots are going to be building up as well. Now, back at home, I believe we have the Cybercore. Yes, so Cybercore, we have 1 gate at home, 2 gates proxied across the map, so it's going to be 3 gate here, 3 gate Dragoon. It starts with the Zealots, of course, but Dragoons will be amassing. And the goal here is to punish the economic build here of QuanTa. So far, everything looking good for RebellioN, I'll be honest. Here we go, Dragoons are coming. Initial Zealots is going to be power walking across the map. Let's go! God. Walking with purpose. It's one of those things that because there we go. Because when it's walking, there's no side blades. Like, it's just got a very different vibe. But let's go. Zealots moving out. Dragoons are amassing. Behind this, we have our safety bunker on the way, and it looks like it will finish up in time. Yeah, the bunker will finish. Thankfully for QuanTa. It does complete. Ooh. The last temp of the bunker we just ignored, so we just go straight past. Into the mineral line. SV's going to be going down, delaying the CC. Nice pickup. And from here, looks to knock down that front door. At least attempting, there we go, making room for the Zealots. Deeper's under fire. Boys are being pulled. Too much DPS. It looks like, oh, the SV's going to be targeted down. Gets 1. Gets 2. Ooh, takes down the Marine. Third Dragoon has arrived, and this is just becoming too much. Yeah, we're still out of control. There's no Cyclone, just a handful of Marines. Cyclone production, sorry, tank production has now begun, but it's too late. The wall is gonna fall. And QuanTa just doesn't really have much to work with. He does have a second bunker, thankfully. Has a second bunker. Ooh, losing the Ebers are brutal, or is brutal. Targeting down more SCVs. Tank is on the way. Just give it a little bit more time. Needs that tank. A couple more seconds. Picks up more SCVs. Tank doesn't really have to restore siege. It's crazy. Yeah, we'll protect the main. He is set up to protect the main base. Dragoons once again start stepping forward. So far, how many? 14 SCV kills. Insane value. Oh, they have to respect that tank. They're diving in. He goes for the dive, comes in with a surround, and looks like he will bring the tank down just barely. Tank does fall, but that's still 4 Marines. And Dragoons, they can't kite back. They're going to be chased down. And with that QuanTa, he should be able to hold on, but at a cost. There's barely any SCVs remaining. There's how many? There's 12. 12 SCVs left, and RebellioN, he expands. He expands, takes a natural. Again, you can see the power here of the Dragoons, and it's just so much damage, breaking down that wall, busting into the main. They were shut down by the tank, but again, the damage. 12 SCVs. Behind this, shuttles on the way, and now we're taking up. Now we're taking up. In towards our bay. In towards Reaver drops. Okay. Show us the Reavers, papi. RebellioN, he has no chill. He has no chill. There it is. Reaver is in production. Now, if you're a little bit unfamiliar here with StarCraft Evolution, Reaver is almost like, it's almost like a cross between an Immortal and a Disruptor. The reason why I say this is because the Disruptor has to, like, wind up a shot. Here, the Reaver just shoots and just detonates, and it's just incredible, like, instant damage here. I mean, almost instant, of course. There is still travel time in a sense, but less so than a Disruptor. Here we go. We're gonna dive in. Likewise, Spotter Deeper is in position to give QuanTa a bit of a heads up. Behind this, there's soon to be 2 tanks. Marines are amassing. But remember, there is no... I mean, there's nothing else here in the sense that there's no stim. There's no stim vanilla Marines. Reaver drop into the mineral line. Yeah, QuanTa, he has to retreat, has to respect this. Just abandons the mineral line, goes straight for the natural. Oh, going for the tank. And the tank, it's gonna go down. Oh my god, massive connection with the Marines. Doesn't want to waste a shot. Rotating over. Again, he wants that mineral line. He's always within range of the tanks though. Oh my god. Yeah, shot goes off. Up to 17 SCVs. And now he can threaten the main base. Another Reaver's on the way. Third Nexus. Dragoons, they dive in. The bunker's empty. Tank goes down. And QuanTa just being torn apart completely. QuanTa just cannot keep up. Not anymore. I mean, the one tank does hold the line, but as long as we're out of range. And RebellioN, he is out of range. Just barely. Oh no! He commits. Yeah, he commits in. Does waste a shot. Yeah, but he can 2-shot that tank. The Dragoons are quite fragile. They're going down real fast, but despite that... Yeah, just make sure there is never a tank available, and without a tank, GG gets called, and RebellioN, he ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. Oh, sorry, ace match. We're going to game 3. We're tied up here. We're tied up. It's a best of 5. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Best of 5. We're going to game 3. Got a very intense back and forth so far between RebellioN and QuanTa, and so far a lot of aggression is what I will say. Aggression from both sides in game 1 and game 2. And we'll see where this leads us here in game 3. Let's go. And again, it was just very fortunate that QuanTa happened to be going for an economic opener. Remember, QuanTa went for a Rax, single gas into a CC on the low ground. So economic opener out of QuanTa did mean that he was vulnerable to something like a cheese or something like a proxy, as we saw. And with that, QuanTa was overwhelmed. Was bleeding out tank after tank after tank. Just very well thought out build there by RebellioN, and that's leading us here into game number 3. Gonna be loading into Citadel, and the question becomes, who plays SE2 and who plays Protoss next? Who's it gonna be? Here we go. Time to punish Terran. Yo, este hon mono in the chat. Ay, ay, ay. Good to see you. SMH my head. As we are getting into game 3, we're going to be featuring Homono in the events later on, later in the evening, of course. We'll get there. We will get there. He's just watching his opponents, observing. Ah. Oh, I just realized. Oh, Funk is joining us as well. Jesus, we have a lot of casters here. Shout out to the SCC casting in Korean. We have Sian or Cyan casting in Portuguese. We have Funka casting in French. So Bad Rush casting in Chinese, I believe. Bratok Casting in Russian. Of course, ourselves in English. Crazy. Crazy. Of course, I am aware that we are going to be casting over the Wardy event as well. But it's all good. We're here. We're here for the StarCraft Evolution. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have our South Korean Protoss player. Our South Korean Protoss. The SC2 Protoss. It is RebellioN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player from South Korea. It is QuanTa. Here we go. And welcome one and all to Citadel. Citadel is a 4-player map. We have top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right as well. So 4-player spawn map. We can see already RebellioN, he's scouting, checking for the spawn location. And likewise, I mean, again, we rarely get to see 4-player spawn maps nowadays here at SE2. I do miss it dearly. I think I'm more one that can really push for 3-player spawn maps coming back again, but 4 players, I understand that there's definitely a bit of RNG involved, but because of the size of this map, I mean, we should be entering a longer game state here. Do have CC first even out of QuanTa, very greedy, going CC first. Meanwhile, Gate Expand out of RebellioN. RebellioN does scout bottom right, checking top right, and he will eventually confirm the location of QuanTa. Despite the aggression that we saw in Game 1 and Game 2, here in Game 3, we have economic builds. Economic builds overall. QuanTa going for his own SCV scout as well. Checks top right. Just checking top right. Oh, the thunder. Is it a tell? Are we going to see some storms here? Possibly. Possibly. Let's head on over. It does confirm that RebellioN is not in the top right-hand corner of the map. And through the process of elimination, RebellioN, he's aware of QuanTa's location. Behind this, again, just economic openers. Nothing crazy, no early tech, no early aggression. Despite how intense our series has been so far, here on Citadel, on a larger map, on a 4-player map, we're slowing things down. Now we can talk about some of the features here. There are a lot of these points of elevation. Here towards, or here outside of the expansion, even here in between the bases, all high ground. And high ground is going to be a big factor coming into this as QuanTa's playing mech. Let's go. QuanTa is going to be playing mech. But there was a recent change. Not the most recent patch, but the one before that. Basically, we now have introduced a mechanic that was in play in StarCraft 1 in Brood War, but not in SE2, and that is the chance to miss. There is now a miss chance when you do attack up a ramp, up into high ground, up into a point of elevation, or if you attack into some shrubbery, some kind of shrouded location, whether it's with steam vents or tall grass. Now you have a chance to miss, which is not a thing in SE2, but was a thing in Brood War. So these points of elevation are going to be a big factor when it comes to having the advantage in a fight. Meanwhile, proxy gateway here by RebellioN. This is only to harass. This is not for an all-in, but this is to warp in, adapts to similar mineral lines, and get economic damage done. Back at home, we have our 2 gates set up. So 2 gates at home and 1 across the map. So 3 gate blink. 3 gates, I should say. No blink. Ooh, meanwhile, we do see a proxy eBay here out of QuanTa. And I believe this should be for scouting. It's going to be a scouting eBay. Marine goes down. Mech is amassing, going into spider mines. And because of this, as we do see QuanTa, one of the boys trying to make sure he can repair, keeps his bunker alive. Does react quite hard here to these stalkers. Is in position, taking this seriously. Oh, the force fields though. He denies the repair. At least tries to. Repairs go up. Snipes one of the sentries. Very nicely done. Sentry goes down. Across the map, a vulture is threatening a dive, forcing a defensive warp in. The observer has arrived, but QuanTa holds. QuanTa, he does hold on. Now researching siege mode, is setting up defensively. Meanwhile, we have the eBay. It looks so weird flying. Looks like its feet are like dangling up in the air. It's like, oh god. Let's go. We have the eBay Scout. Similar to the Overlord. Does rush in. Gets a full scout of the main. And the natural. Yo, imagine if we had floating eBays in SE2. Would this be more common? Maybe. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. eBay does take a lot of hits. I mean, obviously, it would have to be, you know, it comes hand in hand with mech, as you don't need the eBay researching. It can be in the air. It just doesn't care. Ooh, RebellioN fully walling off, going for a ninja base. Let's go. Does go for the ninja. Takes off right. I mean, this is something you can do here on some of these larger maps and 4-player maps as well. True. Taking bases is a factor. It's going to factor in. We have like ion thrusters upgrades on the way. It's going to be for the vultures. Oh, meanwhile, he scouts, he knows. Okay, QuanTa checks up right. Is where the pylons could only mean one thing. There is an expansion. Now, the problem here is that for QuanTa, the mech army is quite immobile. I mean, the vultures aren't, but... Sorry, the vultures are mobile, but... tanks aren't. And because of that, trying to respond, trying to rotate, trying to deal with his position, trying to deal with his base is going to be a difficult thing to do. As he's going to have to go well out of his way here to apply pressure. Yo, are we stuck? Are we... Are we... Okay, well, okay, we're good, we're good. Gee. For a moment, I was like, can the tank not move through? It's fine, it's fine. We're all good. So we'll see how QuanTa will approach this. Does he go top right? Does he go bottom left? Which expansion does he try to deny it? How will he be aggressive, if at all? But now floating over. Taking us third. We have spider mines in position, scouting any other fringe locations. Making sure there's no ninja base, at least in the bottom right hand corner. But yeah, it's one of those things where with your vultures, I mean, they do a great job at scouting. I mean, again, there's a Spider-Man at every base. Spider-Man at every other base. Make sure there's no other hidden bases. RebellioN massing up Mass Wing Stalker. Stargates on the way. Interesting. We'll see RebellioN is planning to go into mech. Sorry, mech. Into Skytos. See what he is planning. Until then, QuanTa is building up. His forces, yep, there it is. We do have the fleet being on the way. Scan reveals this Stargate. That is a tell. That's a massive tell. There should not be a Stargate here at this time. Doesn't see the fleet beacon, but more or less knows what's going on. So we have another scan in the center. Vultures getting caught out. Yeah, nice catch. Drop here on the right hand side. Doesn't quite get much done. Oof, dropship does fall. And again, it's just so awkward for a making player to try to punish this ninja base. It's not easy. QuanTa's just building up on 2 bases. Still has yet to take a third. Has a CC, but just can't quite land. He's contained. He's just stuck here on 2 bases. Now trying to move out. Tank kind of solid. Do need those spider mines. Ooh. Oh my god. Vultures, they're zooming. Ooh, getting punished though. Nah, they do get punished. Every vulture goes down, bit of miscontrol there from QuanTa. Got a little bit too excited with them. That was not worth it. Okay, so slowly moving forward. But again, so far RebellioN doing a great job here, just containing his opponent. RebellioN, he takes another ninja base. Another hidden expansion. And we're still just waiting for QuanTa to break out. So there we go. Now finally takes a third. This has been slowing him down. Again, just trying to build up his bases. Gee, how many tanks does he have? 14! 14 tanks. Causing a bit of a traffic jam here, but we'll eventually break out. And we're going to be here for a while, 100%. We'll be here for a while. We'll just get forced back. We're fully walling up, walling off. We're embracing the mech, papi. Let's go. And RebellioN's going to be the first to max. Again, he's on a soon-to-be 4 base economy. He's been freely mining the entire time. Oh my god, me and Rico's into the main. My apologies. I was like, Rico, what's going on? He did have the mothership with that fleet beacon. Dives into the main base, and with that, he just completely bypasses the tanks. And that might just be game. That might just be game. We can see QuanTa just trying to scramble into his own main. Tanks are trying to keep up. I mean, the tank line is solid. And RebellioN, he can always recall. He can always recall away. So far, pulling back. Is cornered, supply blocking QuanTa. Zelt's rushing in. And yeah, QuanTa's just being torn apart here. Having a hard time responding. Coach is moving in. Every STV going to be going down. Ay, ay, ay. There's some brutal economic damage. And he just keeps on committing. Get into the factories. Ooh. So let's respect those tanks. They were late to siege. They were late to siege up. Is that recall? Does get out. Let's pull away. Mothership's being rebuilt as we speak. Mothership is rebuilding. So far, solid damage. QuanTa down to 51 SCVs. And we could try to do that again. We can see this time QuanTa is ready for it though. Throws down just a field of spider mines. Ensuring that does not happen again. Ooh. Spider mines were left over. Decent tank line as well. And this choke point is brutal. I didn't really see RebellioN pushing into this. He's gonna try. Trying to force friendly fire. Oh! It does force that splash damage. Just a bit. Not enough. RebellioN still amassing. Still amassing his army. Again, it does feel like RebellioN can't really get past this initial cliff face. Like this initial ramp. Likewise, this choke point as well. So QuanTa is well secure here on 3 bases. Taking a 4th base is going to be more difficult here for QuanTa, true. You might not need a 4th. Meanwhile, Mothership coming in. Show us the recall. Look at recalls here into the 3rd. Massive slow zone. And the CC is going to be denied. Having killed Command Center itself. Ooh, as the tank shots are insane. There's just so many tanks. Ooh, and RebellioN's going to lose everything here. Yeah, the entire army just crumbles. Mothership does stand strong. There's limited anti-air, but the turrets, the turrets bring him down. And RebellioN, he plummets in supply, lost everything. He killed some SCVs, he denied some mining time, but that was everything just exploding here to the tanks. And here we go, it's time to move out. How many tanks? From 14 up to 18. 18 tanks here for QuanTa. An insane tank count. Is now pushing. Runs into a Tempest, just the one. We can ignore it. And from here, QuanTa is going for the kill. And again, this is what he was waiting for. He wasn't waiting for to move out himself. He was waiting for his opponent to take a bad fight. And he did. Some friendly fire, but GG gets called. There's nothing to stop QuanTa, and QuanTa, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. Again, QuanTa, he was just turtling up. He was waiting for RebellioN to move into him, and hey, it worked. Did work in the end. RebellioN, he did recall into the third base, and there was a wall of tanks waiting for him, and he lost every single unit. The Stalkers, the Zealots, the Archons, everything went down in an instant, even the Mothership, and that was game. That was game then and there. RebellioN just misjudging the situation, misjudging his capability to actually take the fight and to commit into that recall. And with that, GG. And there was no need. Remember, QuanTa was successfully being contained. He was successfully being contained on 3 bases, and RebellioN, he had ninja bases all over the place. Like, he had plenty of economy, plenty of breathing room. Nothing was really pressuring him from pushing in, but he did. Nothing was pressuring him, but he did push in, he did commit, and with that, QuanTa is now 1 game away from claiming the series. Is 1 game away. We'll see if RebellioN can force the ace match. Let's go! We're loading into, of course, our player's favorite map of the map pool. We're going to be loading into near Isles of Sirens. Let's go. What is that, you might ask? Island map. A proper island map this time. We had a pseudo island map with Monty Hall, but here, proper islands, mate. Let's go. 5 islands, 1 in each corner and 1 in the center of the map. And where we dropping, where we spawning in. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Isles of Siren, we have the SE2 Protoss player, the Korean Protoss, down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back. It is RebellioN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have bottom left-hand corner, we have the Brutal Terran player from South Korea. 1 game away from advancing on to the grand finals. It is QuanTa. Here we go. And for those that are curious, this is a 4-player spawn map. Let's go. 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom left, top right, or bottom right, and each corner of the map has its own island. So what does this mean? This means hyper greed. It means, mate, let's go CC into CC before racks, just mass expand, make SCVs. There's high yield gas geysers here on the left. Likewise, more high yield gas geysers here on the right. Likewise, more bases here in the center as well. Every island has 4 bases. The main base, the natural, the third, and the fourth. So 4 bases per island. You can see here, to actually get the 4th base, to get the center expansion, you have to snake around towards the left-hand side. Now, because of how difficult it is for a ground unit to get to this central location, to get to this island, to get to this base, we have seen a lot of difficulty when it comes to defending these areas, and especially when it comes to players like jumping back and forth from this base to this base, back and forth. It can be quite awkward. So we'll see how QuanTa can keep up. In general, RebellioN as the SC2 player has a much more mobile army. Getting to a Warp Prism, getting to a Stargate Opener, like these kind of plays, these kind of tech options are a lot more viable here for RebellioN, and even Blink Stalker, right? You can just blink over the wall. You can just blink from one island straight to the other as well. So I do actually favor SC2 Protoss in this kind of game state, but we'll see what RebellioN goes for. If he goes for Twilight Council, Robo, or Stargate. As we can see, QuanTa going for the eBay Scouts. Let's go. eBay is on the way to scout across the map to try to get a read on what's going on. Likewise, there is a center island as well, which does have 4 gas geysers, has 4 mineral lines as well. Plenty of resources to take, and this can also be used as a staging ground to push in towards another island. As tanks, they can actually attack from one island to the other. Again, what separates these islands are these small little rivers, like these small little ravines, and because they're so thin, it does mean that siege units can impact a fight from one island to the next. Meanwhile, here comes that eBay Scouts. Again, Brutal Terran, they can lift their eBays, SC2 Terran cannot. And with this, we scout across the map. We're checking here for the, actually going for the double scout. eBay towards top left and racks towards bottom right. And with that, QuanTa confirms. Ooh, as QuanTa is not playing mech, actually. That is an academy on the way. Interesting. I would have assumed he was just going to play mech from here, but no, the academy, I mean, is double armory, so my apologies. It looks like it is going to be mech. Double armory is on the way. Here comes siege mode. As we're looking for the take of choice, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener at RebellioN going into Blink Stalkers. So Blink is on the way. QuanTa does confirm it should be Blink. And with that, QuanTa, it's going to be on him to prepare back at home for the eventual Blinkstalker aggression. Now, RebellioN, at least he doesn't really know... actually, I was going to say he doesn't know where his opponent is, but based on the trajectory of the racks, he knows. He knows that the racks came from bottom left. There's no way for it to have, like, gone around in full circle at this point. It's just too early. As the racks is attempting to escape. Spotter depot on the way. Extra factories, 1-1 upgrades. QuanTa is building up, and we have Goliaths coming online. So there's that scan. Checking saturation, checking for tech. How many gates? So far, 2 gates in the main, 2 gates here at the natural, 4-gate blink. 4-gate blink stalker alongside a war prism to reinforce with of course, that robo. And it's going to be hyper-aggressive here from RebellioN. Blink is done! And blink is done, and he can hop over the wall. And blinks from one island to the other. Denies the depot, and do we have anything to defend? Do we have anything to hold? There's only 2 units. 1 tank, 1 Goliath in a dream. Though it goes, second Goliath has arrived. Stalkers, they do hit the mineral line. SCV's going down. And it's going to be a tough hold here. I mean, this could just be game here and now, by the way. Natural base is denied. 4-gate blink being just so powerful here on this map. Actually just going for a third. No war prism. Interesting. Robo, but no war prism. So an interesting build here by RebellioN. He's not committing. He's just expanding. Ooh. Force the blink away. Like, we could have seen a prism and just extra warp ins, but instead expanded. Interesting. Set off to expand. QuanTa retakes that natural. Now, the Goliath anti-ground attack was nerfed in the PTR. True. Did occur. Attack period was increased for the Goliath. So they're not as effective against Stalkers as they used to be. So we go. RebellioN does dive in. Takes out the depot. Forward. Catching out 1, catching out 2. Has 3 Goliaths left. Boys are being pulled. He just dives into the tank line, so tank fires are insane. Despite that, RebellioN still trading well. Still does trade. Takes down 7 SCVs. Still reinforcing. At the same time, yo, let's go. The Marines are here. Proxy Marine production. I think I would have liked if QuanTa had just rallied back and had just built up a Marine count instead. Would have been fun. The observer gets found. Observer gets found out. Dark Templar gonna be worlding, and oh, we just spent like 3 scans. Oh, okay. There's a turret. Thankfully, there is a turret in position. DTs, they go for the turret itself. Ooh, goes down instantly. And SCVs are falling. And alas, we just scanned. Ah, no. Did just scan. Gets a tank. He's gonna get another and another. Turret's on the way. There's still no energy. Oh, no. And the power of these DTs, it might just be too much. Like scans, they don't come as freely as they do for SC2. Even denying the comstat station as well. So 0 scans from the main. This is also a factor that isn't really a thing that we worry about in SC2, but for Brutal or Terran, it's possible to just deny scans by sniping the comstat stations, and that's it. Like, usually, like, killing the orbital isn't really a way to deal with scans, but there we go, he targets it down, no scans! Wow, 0 scans for QuanTa, lost every comstat station. And that's, I mean, what can we do? There's a turret, sure, there's 2 turrets. 1 on the right and 1 at the natural, but there is no answer. Like, I guess maybe QuanTa could try to like target down a building with his tanks and like through like friendly fire and splash damage. Sorry, splash damage not friendly fire, but splash damage could maybe kill a DT, but like outside of that, yeah, he's just being broken. Dives on the tanks, he gets one, takes out another. Turret does complete. Really not quite paying attention. But GG gets called regardless, and we are going to the ace match. RebellioN ties up the series. We are going to game 5. Whew. GG. Getting to the ace match here. Again, an intense back and forth. Whew. And yeah, that's just something that we don't really think about, right? It's like when you're a Terran player in TvP and when you're up against DTs, your biggest concern isn't that DTs are going to kill the orbital and that's how they deny scans. Usually it's sniping turrets and forcing or ideally just kind of baiting out scans and reducing that energy. But specifically for Brutal Terran, comsat stations are more vulnerable. They're very vulnerable. There's not a lot of HP there. So the likelihood of actually just targeting down those comsat stations and just eliminating scans as an option, it's there. GG. GG well played. Again, something that's we take for granted for SC2 Terran players. Like they're always gonna have a scan eventually. Brutal Terrans less so, as they can lose their ability to scan. Part of me feels like curious. Is that a balance concern? Here I don't know. I don't know if this is an issue or not. I mean, we saw it here, but I mean, this just because of the way that the builds played out. Likewise, because the nature of island maps as well. Like we saw that the main bases were large and DTs, so they could just go straight in. I'm sure on a regular map, like you'd have turrets in certain key locations to provide some detection, of course. But when I say balance, I mean, to counteract that, would it be wiser to make scan cheaper to make up for the fact that comsat stations are more vulnerable? That I don't know, because I don't know if that's if it would be an issue if scans were more available, I should say, more readily available in situations where you know they aren't necessarily as needed. But yeah, I mean that is a factor, with comsat stations. Regardless, GG well played. We're going to the ace match. Robo snipes used to be a thing in SC2 PvP. They are a thing in SC2 PvP. I mean that is true. We see that all the time. Even I think that happened like last week. But I'm referring specifically to the TvP dynamic, Terran versus Protoss. But yes, that is a thing that I think is a negative aspect of SC2 PvP. I think we've spoken about this before, referring to how there are cases where a player can go Dark Templar and just win the game. Like that happens in PvP. Like Heroes died to it, Max has died to it, where you go for a DT and the game just ends. One, because you have typically because you have no detection. Because it is not uncommon in PvP to even just skip the robo. I'm not even talking about like sniping a robo, just there is no robo period, and the game just ends, which I feel like is a negative aspect of the game. But regardless, here we go. Is this a replay? No, we're casting it live. If it's a replay, usually we do put it in the title of the stream. But our players, they did need a moment, and here we go. We are jumping in. Ooh, ace match gonna be on Sylphid. Let's go. Let us go. There we go. Live. Beautiful. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Sylphid, we have the Brood War Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. Tying up the series and forcing the ace match, it is RebellioN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the SC2 Terran player, the SC2 Terran from South Korea, being forced into Game 5. It is QuanTa. I assume there are benefits to the Brood War Terran also. Are you referring to the comsat station? I mean, Spirit, he never makes it. Spirit, he just avoids it. He just never makes the comsat station. It's very rare. To our dismay, more often than not. But it's always a lot of fun casting Spirit in StarCraft Evolution. when it comes to that. So here we go. I mean, there are other limitations to Brood War Terran as well, just because if you recall, you have to choose if you want to make a comsat station or, like, you know, silos for nukes. But I guess silos are very, very niche in Brood War Terran. I don't think I've actually seen a Brood War Terran player make a nuke, actually. Could be mistaken, but I don't think I've seen that before. Meanwhile, RebellioN, he does scout, it does confirm that there is no Terran here bottom left, and he's proxying top right, or center. Top center, there we go. As welcome to a 3-player spawn map. It's going to be 3 players. There it is. A proxy gateway has been thrown down, and RebellioN is going to be committing. Now, we've already seen this before, previously on Whispers of Gold. This is going to be proxy Zealot into proxy Dragoon, and his goal here is to overwhelm, is to break through the defensive line, to get past the bunker, and to get into the main. We'll see if he can. Now, here on Sylphid, there is a much more narrow entrance towards the natural. So, unlike on Whispers of Gold, the ability to just run past the bunker is not as viable here, assuming we wall off. Assuming we do wall off. As Dragoon production has begun. And is moving out. Maybe NG regen needs to be faster. Maybe. Like, I feel like there has to be an offset. That, like, right? Like, typically in my mind, there has to be an offset for, okay, if like your comsat station is more vulnerable, then there has to be like more of an upside to it. In my mind, right? Like a give and take, a yin and yang sort of thing. Only if it's perceived to be an issue. Like, it's only one game. I don't know if it ever is. But now, Dragoons are amassing. We do have that full wall. As we mentioned, this time we cannot rush past. Concussive Shell on the way. Marauders are amassing as well. Marauders, they will be shutting down those Dragoons. QuanTa responding well here. And he forced the expansion. There we go. Upon seeing that wall, upon seeing the Marauder as well, there's no breaking this. There's no breaking this location. And the rush has ended. Ooh. I say has ended. Never mind. We are going for the Citadel of Adun. I believe that should be for charge, or I guess for Zealot legs. Robo as well. Show us what you got. This is where I appreciate the effort put into constructing this in game. Like the unique buildings, simulators as well. I appreciate it. As QuanTa does go for the SCV scouts. Behind this proxy, Templar Archives. Let's go. Templar Archives on the way. God, RebellioN just proxying everything. it's just all out here. Okay. Are we going for an Archon drop? That would make sense in my mind just because there's no bay. As here comes our shuttle. Templar Archives is done. Okay, going DT. Uh-oh. It's okay. We have scans. So, not quite Archon drop, going for the DT drop instead. But turrets already being thrown down. There's already a turret protecting the gases. Turret here towards the left-hand side as well. Yeah, turrets everywhere. QuanTa is secure. And RebellioN has to be so careful here with the shuttle. Loads up a DT. Drops into the main. DT waddles in. Is revealed. Getting a couple of SCVs. Army has to respond. So far so good. 5 SCV kills. He's still holding up to that scan. I mean, there's not really much here to work with. The Marauder can slow this down. Likewise, another DT here at the natural as well. Ooh, Marauder goes down. And massive pickoff. Gets a Marauder. Another starts on the way. There's a scan, but where's the firepower? There is enough. Takes down the Dark Templar. There's still one left. Still one DT remaining. Scan runs out. Shuttle will fall. There's a scan. And this will be cleaned up. Whew. Okay. And as it all settles, how many? 14 SCVs for 2 DTs. Very well worth it. RebellioN, very nicely done. Take down 14 SVs behind this Rebellion, just chilling, happily just on 2 bases. Does build up. Double Forge on the way. And we're going Proxy Storm. I just seeing this, it's great. It's beautiful. It's StarCraft. Proxy all the tech. Banshee does get across the map, has Cloak, but the shield battery does protect. So the shield battery. The Observer is racing back home. Observer does race back. Banshee does rotate. As is being stated in the chat, I said Jade of Pap, yes I did. But yes, the custom, like the forge here, the gas geysers, a lot of these buildings were custom made and added to the mod. So big shout out to the team working behind the scenes. Big shout out to the team at Kuprulu. Like, you can definitely make an argument that do you really need to make a new forge? Like, we can just use, like, the old forge. But, like, it definitely adds to the aesthetic. And it does a great job here just showing that these races are very different. And they are. Like, they play very differently here. So it's just it's a further way to distinguish, you know, one Protoss race from the other Protoss race. So they are different. As a little character, it does. Oh. Banshee does dip in. Once again, harassing. Yo, I'll be honest, I love the look of the old High Templar. Like, there are certain units in Brood War that, like, are so iconic, like, in my mind. One of them is the High Templar. The other one is the Dark Templar as well, like the DT. Like, I remember thinking they were so cool when playing Brood War when I was young. Okay, here we go. Storm has completed. Rebellion moving in. QuanTa just now trying to break out. We're going to expand. Little does he know that there's buildings everywhere blocking his bases. There's gateways all over the place. Passing on the Marines. Oh! Nice mine shot. Mine shot goes off. Storm here on the biome. QuanTa with the splits. He avoids the storm. Does avoid, just get the hell out of there. Pulls away, but oof, not quite enough room here to load up. As he moves out, drop across the map as well. With that drop, we'll take control of the mineral line. Oh. Chase down those workers. Chases down the probes. Good positioning. Storm coming in. Oh my god. Whew. Loads up in time. Barely saves the bio. I mean, it saves the bio in a sense, as the Marines do go down to 1 Zealot. Banshee coming back in, and RebellioN races back home. Turns back around. Where's the Observer? The Observers are across the map. Not quite in position. So Banshee does run out of cloak. And as that settles, where exactly are we? Economies are still quite comparable to each other. RebellioN did lose a lot of workers in the main. Did lose a lot of probes. QuanTa now taking his linear third base. Dropping back in. Let's drop back into the main base. RebellioN trying to respond. Likewise, Marines on the left-hand side as well. And QuanTa is just abusing how immobile this army is for RebellioN. Remember, there's no recall. There's no recall. There's no blink. Units are just so much slower here for Brood War. RebellioN having a hard time keeping up. Storm comes in. Forces back the army. Does pick up in time. And RebellioN just one step behind here. And QuanTa finally expands. Finally takes a third base, gets eyes on the proxies. Starts working on them. Bringing them down. Cells move out. Are there Dark Archons? There are. Of course. I mean, if there's a unit in Brood War, then it's here, right? So Dark Archons, Defilers, the Queen that flies, Science Vessels. Ah, they're all there. This means I do target down those. Oof. The Dragoons, not bad. Now last Rebellion trying to defend here with just purely High Templar. Forced away some storms. So we'll shut this down. Rebellion, sorry, QuanTa amassing his army. Is pushing. Rebellion so far keeping up. At least trying to. Where there's storms, they're coming in. Oh, can't waste them though. First storm does zone. 2 storms left. QuanTa pulling back. Village just trying to catch up the main army. The Rockstone! Oh no! Okay. Whew. Does pull away. Does pull away in time. Wouldn't mind, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. As Rebellion's gonna get surrounded here. Yeah, he gets caught out by army from behind, from the front as well. Gets a full surround. And with that Rebellion, he should be losing everything here. There's no storms. QuanTa dropping across the map as well. He just completely souls Rebellion up here. Barely anything left. Yeah, without that storm support, Rebellion, he just could not hold his own. And QuanTa is running away with this. As we never really cleaned up these proxies. I mean, like this, there's so much tech that's proxied out on the map, and I mean, hey, you got away with it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. As the shuttle is going to be chased down. Bailey survives. And unfortunately, really, he just cannot build up his army. Not anymore. It takes so long here. There's a couple of High Templar, building up more Zealots, more Dragoons. And again, losing that massive army, it takes its toll. Likewise, rallying out. Ghosts are amassing. Rebellion really is hoping for these High Templar to carry, to connect. I mean, storms can pop up, true. Maybe it's to see a proper main fight here between the armies. The MP! And massive connection. Covers High Templar, no more storms. And without storms, we can stim and we can win. QuanTa has nothing to worry about. As far as the Widow Mines, the storms are, sorry, the EMPs are brutal. That he can just push forward. Really keeping up. Forcing back the army. Another EMP lands. And last Rebellion is down to maybe one final storm. If that. Oh no. Oh. Gets sniped. Storm turns away. Every time, I love that storm effect. Every time. It's so good. Oh. As QuanTa just sims on forward. Oh, once again, has to respect the storm. Jesus. The storms that all up, but not enough. GG gets called, and QuanTa will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, QuanTa. He will take it. Again, a very intense back and forth. Went all the way to the ace match. We were able to see a lot of aggression, a lot of cheese. Likewise, some mid to late game as well between both Rebellion and QuanTa. When it comes to this game, unfortunately, it was just a really awkward game for Rebellion. As a reminder, he started things off with a proxy, and the proxy got completely shut down. He went into a delayed expansion and was able to maintain map control for a time. That is true. Remember, he killed 14 SCVs with 2 Dark Templar. It was crazy how much damage he had dealt. but despite that, he just had a really hard time keeping up with the drop play. This is one of the big weaknesses of Brutal Protoss. I do favor Brutal Protoss when it comes to these big main engagements, true, I do favor that, but when it comes to drop harass and drop play, you do need to be able to split up your army. You have to preemptively split up your army and be in position. The reason for this, I mean, it's tenfold, right? 1, there's no recall. 2, there's no warp gate mechanic. So it's kind of like Terran, where units are being built from your gateways. You cannot reactively like warp in certain locations. Likewise, the prism, the shuttle is a little bit different. You cannot reinforce with the shuttle, and likewise the pickup micro is limited. There's no blink stalkers either. So again, your army's just, it's just less mobile overall, just less mobile. And likewise, the punish is that much more harder here if you're caught out of position. The punish is real, and QuanTa did it very well here when it came to abusing that. It's all over him. In general, I would say that all the brutal races are less mobile, whether it's Protoss, Terran, or Zerg. They're all less mobile than their SE2 counterpart, but they make up for that with having really powerful spells. Like, as we saw, like the brutal storms, they hit different. Whenever they connect, Pappy, they do well for themselves. But yeah, a lot of spells, they hit harder, they hit faster, whether it's the Brutal Storm, the Brutal Reaver as well, for example. There's definitely a lot of strength there. Of course, Dark Swarm, Plague, Irradiate, Lockdown. It's my favorite part about casting StarCraft Evolution is always featuring those Brutal spellcasters. They're so good.